Silence your cell phones now.
What are you hiding, Peter? I'm just kidding, I don't care. Bye.
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the movie experience. It's NC the place to be chill, trying to Mr. AD and the anime hero, Swag on Zero. And we're here to bring you one of the summer's most anticipated superhero movies. The third time it's being second time it's being rebooted.
Yeah,
second time it's being rebooted, and that is Spider-Man Homecoming. There is a lot to say about this movie, and this is going to be our spoiler-free review. That hopefully over the weekend we'll give you our spoiler review of how we felt about the movie. Well, of course, it's like any other movie that we do in a movie experience. We're going to give you the good. It's finally good this time. A bad and an experience. The last time Transformers was
just bad.
Just as bad experience. Okay, so that's what we're going to give you. So, to start off with the good. Well, guys, first of all, Tom Holland is reprising his role as Peter Parker Spider-Man from Captain America Civil War. And we have a cast of characters along with Melissa Tomei coming back as Aunt May, who they showed over in Civil War also. So this movie is basically going through Peter Parker's as he's growing, and he's trying to figure out how to be Spider-Man and impress Tony Stark, which Robert Downey Jr. is here to reprise his role as Tony Stark. So, one thing off the good, Tom Holland, in my opinion, is the Spider-Man. Now, Tobey Maguire gave us a good Peter Parker impression, a good Peter Parker performance, but not a good Spider-Man. He wasn't really connected with us. Andrew Garfield did a good Spider-Man wise ass, but not a good Peter Parker. Tom Holland is a balance of both. And
perfect balance.
I love how the way in this movie, how they balance out the character, where it's like, if you're a teenager with this kind of power, and you are that kind of smart, you're going to be naive, you're going to be slightly arrogant, and you're going to use these powers for your own personal gain.
Right. Now, what I like about the movie, they didn't say, like, great power comes with great responsibility.
They have another line.
Yeah. Instead, they showed it. And
yes.
They really showed it, because he was very irresponsible with his powers. Because he think, I have this power, so I can do pretty much anything I want. I fought alongside with the Avengers, so I'm pretty much one of the big shots.
Slightly cocky.
Yeah.
Another good thing we also have here is finally Marvel. Well, I'm not gonna say not all the way. They dabbled, but they did not wet the bed fully on the villain.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton as the Vulture is a great villain. Now, I'm not saying he's the most powerful, or he's probably going to be, out of all the villains that we've had in comic movies, the most memorable, but he was the most relatable.
Yeah. And this is the best MCU movie-wise that we had since Loki, in my opinion, and it felt good.
It did feel good.
Really good.
You felt that what Michael Keaton was doing was not necessarily bad, but he was doing it for a decent cause that any you or I would do for what considers our families, and they do a great job illustrating the build up to it, and leading up to that, and why he's doing what he does. You kind of, at certain points, sympathize for the character.
Another good, it wasn't Iron Man 4.
It was not Iron Man 4 at all.
Robert Downey Jr. really had small parts in this movie. He played a pretty important role, but he wasn't in it as much as I thought he was going to be in it, and I loved that.
Yes, he played the good role. He was the new father figure that Peter was looking for since Uncle Ben has died, and we have not gone back to the Uncle Ben well, and not going back to the whole story or telling the origin story, because we already know it already.
Yeah.
It's been dabbled.
If you don't know it, then
I don't know what you're here for. And Tony Stark does play a good job playing that father figure. At times, he can be kind of an asshole because he still is Tony Stark. He's Tony Stark dealing with guilt.
Yeah.
Okay, but he still has that Tony Stark wise ass personality about him, but he does do good as being a good father figure for Peter Parker.
Yeah. Also, really like how Tony Stark, you saw like the events of Civil War like lead on to this.
Yes.
This movie felt very connected to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I agree with
Extremely connected to it.
And the supporting characters such as Peter's friend, who was
Ned.
Ned, he was a good supporting character for his friend Peter Parker. And honestly, if anybody read the Ultimate Spider-Man, the Miles Morales comics written by
Brian Michael Bendis.
Brian Michael Bendis, yes, who wrote that. If you put Ned and Genki right next to each other, it's the same person. Yeah. And to be honest with you, this movie is going to, I'll get to that a little bit, but it was like a side-by-side comparison. So they did change the story a little bit. I did like, yes.
I love that.
Zendaya, Casey of the
It was just so mysterious, and it was like weird, but it's like, I like this.
She like an aggressive Helga, in a way from like Hey Arnold, and I for some reason I connected a lot with that character, so I do like the side characters in this one. Now, along with there's good, there are some bad. I'm not gonna say there's truly bad, but
the things that could have been better.
Could have been better. So this we're gonna go to the bad. Okay, so my problem with this is now, this is a whole Spider-Man for a whole another universe, which I don't have a problem with. This is actually like Peter Parker in the Miles Morales universe. Yeah. Because a lot of things in this movie, if you guys read the Ultimate Spider-Man, is a lot mirroring the image of Miles Morales. Yeah. And then we have certain characters from the Miles Morales mythos that are in this movie. So you don't know kind of how it plays out. And then for people also, one of my bads I'm still not kind of feeling is his suit. Now his suit looks nice, but it's Tony Stark tech. It's kind of like Iron Man for Spider-Man, and we get it. He does get the Iron. He gets the Iron Spider suit and so forth in the comics. He gets that high tech, but he's already established already. Yeah. This one, it's like having a Jarvis in the suit, and even though that he has the Trader Rose protocol on it, and then eventually he does something to get it to fully function. It's still, I'm not used to Spider-Man having that kind of fully functioning. He has a parachute, and I don't like that, slight spoil.
Like, if he did that, if he made it himself,
yes,
I think that would have been a better display. Whereas Tony, like, pretty much made the suit. It's a multi-million-dollar suit.
Yeah.
And it's like, it doesn't dumb down Peter Parker, but it makes, like, Peter Parker could have done this.
Yes. And another, the love interest that Peter Parker has in the movie, she's, in my opinion, it's a bland character.
Liz Allen.
Yeah.
If you've seen Spectacular Spider-Man, they put a lot of her in that.
Yeah. So this movie does not have the Gwen Stacy. It does not have the Mary Jane that people are looking for. There are new characters bringing in new mythos to the whole Spider-Man lore. So if you're really into the comic books, you may be slightly disappointed. And another thing me and Sway was looking at is there's not that defining action scene in this movie. There is, of course, Superman.
It's a lot of fun watching.
It's a lot of fun watching.
A lot of fun watching, but nothing really is like Wonder Woman had that scene where she's fighting everyone in the building.
Yeah, or when they had the fight with the Germans on the beach.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like Civil War, the buggy chase, or the airport scene. I didn't feel like this movie had that. Yeah,
there was no pinpoint direction on where they wanted the action to go. I mean, they built a lot of suspense. Yeah. They built a lot of suspense in their suspense scenes, but it was another day when you go back to Homecoming, like, well, you remember that part where it was like it's not that defining fight, in our opinion.
What I call it is the demo movie.
Yeah.
If you're going to buy a TV and want to put a demo on, this is the scene they will show. I didn't feel like this movie had it, but I feel like altogether, this movie was still.
Oh yes.
Still there.
And once again, I did like Michael Keaton as the villain, but they had a side villain in the Shocker.
Yeah.
And I think the Shocker was poorly done. Being one of the most, I wouldn't say he's not the strongest villain by any means, but he is a popular villain to a certain extent. Like me growing up, I liked the Shocker. Maybe because I liked his outfit.
Yeah.
And in this one, you just see that they just have his jacket that resembles the arms of the Shocker.
Right.
But the way the Shocker is portrayed in this movie, I won't give nothing away until I say spoiler review, is that it was bland to me, and I really did not like how he was portrayed in this movie. We could have did without him. Yeah. We really could have did without him. You know what? We're going to go into the experience. So it's packed where we're at in the movie theater. Usually when we
people
go,
had cosplays on.
Spider-Man is for real, okay? Yeah. And we are in there, and I'm just letting you guys know, Sony comes up first, and they just want to let you know, like, We don't want y'all to forget.
First of all,
who the fuck is in charge.
I never seen Columbia Pictures with the Statue of Liberty or whatever they had as their little mascot, and then a Sony company under it. I never seen a Sony company under it.
Yes, it was just like,
and they jumped right into it.
They jumped right into it. I was just like, are y'all at least going to show the Marvel opening? Yeah. It took a minute, but they got it in there. It's a nice little treat, a nice little song that they play when the Marvel opening comes on. But I was just saying that, like, yeah, Sony just want everybody to remember, like, I'm gonna tell y'all who really in charge here. So whatever y'all like, just let y'all know. We first. That's basically what they're saying. But it was a great experience. We went out, and, we enjoyed it with the people that we was out there with. So overall, Spider-Man: Homecoming, what is your final grade?
I give it 4 web shooters out of 5.
4 web shooters out of 5. So I guess that we're getting to like a B-ish area.
Yeah, a high B.
High B. That's what I'm doing. I'm giving Spider-Man: Homecoming a B+.
Now, is it the best Spider-Man movie? Check out our podcast.
Check out our podcast, so we will talk about if it is the best Spider-Man movie or not. Or but what is your opinion? Have you guys seen Spider-Man: Homecoming? If you've not, I recommend you go out there right now. Check out Spider-Man: Homecoming. It's a great movie. It's entertaining. I have fun. You're going to have fun.
I want to see
in the theater.
Again. I want to see it again.
Usually I can't see movies twice because of the price, but I really want to go see this movie again. So make sure you guys post that down in the comments down below. Make sure you hit that like button if you guys enjoy the movie experience. And then stay tuned. There's more movies coming out in the summertime. Next week is the War of the Planet of the Apes.
I gotta watch.
You gotta watch it. Man, I'm ready for the War of the Planet of the Apes. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Exactly. Hopefully stay tuned next week. And then we will come back here with another review. So once again, this is NC, a place to be. Children Trump Staying D and Anime Hero, Swag on Zero, and we will see you at the movies.